Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Audrey and we're here again for another episode of Music and the Meaning. Today we're going to be talking about Fleetwood Mac Landslide, originally written by Stevie Nicks. I love this song. It's a great song. It is my song for any time I move or make a big change in my life, so I was super excited to go into this one. Before we get into it, I have to ask you guys another question. You team beach or team mountains? Leave it in the comment section below. I am totally team beach all the way. Really gonna be focusing on Stevie Nicks, as she is the one who wrote the song Landslide. She performed with Fleetwood Mac, but she also has an extensive soloist career. Stephanie Lynn Nicks, born May 26, 1948, is an American singer, songwriter, and producer known for her work with the band Fleetwood Mac as well as her solo artist career. Nicks met her future musical and romantic partner, Lindsey Buckingham, during her senior year at Mello Atherton High School in Atherton, California. When she saw Buckingham playing California Dreaming at a Young Life club, she joined him in harmony. She recalled, "I thought he was darling." Buckingham was in a psychedelic rock band called Fritz, but two of its musicians were leaving for college. He asked Nicks in mid-1967 to replace the lead singer. Fritz later opened for Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin from 1968 until 1970. Nicks credited the acts as having inspired her stage intensity and performance. Both Nicks and Buckingham attended San Jose State University, where Nicks majored in speech communication and planned to become an English teacher. With her father's blessing, Nicks dropped out of college to pursue a musical career with Buckingham. After Fritz disbanded in 1972, Nicks and Buckingham continued to write as a duo, recording demo tapes at Night in Daly City, California. They had little to no success as a duo. This was really unfortunate and kind of a very pivotal moment of their careers, because it was super hard for them because they went through all this rubbing elbows with famous people and doing so well and being treated so well, to when they put out an album together, they were really just completely underwhelming and it didn't do as well as they expected it to. So it was a big old flop, and their record label and the place that they were recording pretty much just said, "Hey, hit the road." So from there they had quite a hard road ahead of them, and their self-esteem was pretty much shattered. Buckingham landed a guitar role with the Everly Brothers' 1972 tour. Nicks stayed behind working on songwriting herself. During this time, Nicks wrote Landslide. In late 1974, Keith Osland played the Buckingham Nicks track Frozen Love for drummer Mick Fleetwood, who had come to Sound City in California in search of a recording studio. Fleetwood remembered Buckingham's guitar work when guitarist Bob Welch departed to pursue a solo career on December 31, 1974. Fleetwood called Buckingham, inviting him to join the band. Buckingham refused, insisting that Nicks and he were a package deal, and he would not join without her. The group decided that incorporating the pair would improve Fleetwood Mac, making the British band into an Anglo-American one. The first rehearsal confirmed this feeling, with the harmonies of the newcomers adding a pop accessibility to the band's former style of blues-based rock. In 1975, Fleetwood Mac achieved worldwide success with the album Fleetwood Mac. Nicks's Rhiannon was voted on the top 500 greatest songs of all time by the Rolling Stone. Landslide became another hit from the album, with 3 million airplays. At this point in the video, I like to advise you all to go and listen to the song if you haven't heard it. I have linked it below, and Landslide has been redone so many times, so it's really likely that you've heard the Dixie Chicks version of this song that was recreated in the 90s, and you should totally go ahead and re-listen to it. I'm gonna go ahead and have our participants go ahead and give their opinions on what the song means to them and how it makes them feel and what they think the artist was thinking when they wrote the song. So without further ado, here we go.
What do you think the artist was trying to portray in the song?
So I think this song was probably about like love and loss, and just, I want to say just growing up, because that sounds kind of cheesy, but I mean it's a very big change. Just in general, they might have like lost a person, or they're just maybe going through a breakup. It doesn't have to be like, oh, loss, but you're not in your life anymore. And then it's kind of like, how am I supposed to do this when my whole life at this point in time is centered around this one person or thing being there? And then when it's not, it's like, what the fuck? How do I even live? But then it's like, oh, time passes whether I like it or not. And that's what this song is about.
So,
Hashtag confirmed.
so what does it make you feel? Like, what is it, the vibe it gives you personally?
Like I want to smoke weed and cry.
Smoke weed and cry.
Smoke weed and cry, yeah. I don't know. It makes me think of like a breakup that I've never been through, you know? But it's also like, I mean, it's sad, but it's more like bittersweet, I guess, because everyone goes through shit like that. You know, changes have to happen, whether we like it or not. And she's got a point, you know, like, shit happens. I know that's not what she said directly, it's not like a direct quote, but that's pretty much what she was saying. Shit happens, the seasons keep changing. I would love to be stuck in this moment forever, but that is not how time works. It's not how things work. Cannot do that way. So, might as well get over it because I have no other choice. That's what she's saying.
All right, so after listening to this song, what do you feel that the artist is trying to portray in the song?
I think this is one of those songs too that because I've heard it my whole life. I've always had the same thought about what it means. Is that it's about the fear of what you lose as you move forward in life, whether it be age, career, just as you move forward in life, you tend to like lose things, and that's always been what the song has made me think about.
VH1, yeah.
The VH1 behind the music, and she mentioned it was not just about one person; it was about several people. I know it's a sad song, but I remember when I first heard it, and it was around like 97, 98, and it was just peak me being a kid, song playing, and I was big into the Goosebumps book, and I remember riding home from school, the Scholastic Book Fair, having all the Goosebumps book, flipping through them in the car, and this being like the soundtrack of a whole year of my life, or just, you know, peak being a kid and things going great. So I know it's a sad song, but because of the attachment that I have to it, it always kind of brings a smile to me.
So what do you think that the artist was trying to portray in the song?
So I think it's like about the end of a relationship and like coming down from the end of a relationship and knowing that you will start moving forward again at some point.
Okay, and then what does the song make you think of individually?
It's hard to say because like I've had one relationship for like most of my adult life, all of my adult life. So I've never really like had that. I guess maybe I think of it more with like friendships. Like, you know, there are friendships where like you start to see it kind of falling apart or going downhill, and you just have to find a way to move past it and know that like you'll find something like that again.
Yeah.
So there's actually a lot more data on this one for meetings than I usually have because Nyx has actually openly talked about this many times, so I decided that I would just take some of her specific quotes so that we could really hear it from her. Stevie Nicks is quoted saying, "I wrote it, Landslide, for Lindsay, for him, about him. It's dear to both of us because it's about us. We're out there singing about our lives." Stevie Nicks, January 2004. It was written in 1973 at a point where Lindsay and I had driven to Aspen for him to rehearse for 2 weeks with Don Everly. After they rehearsed and left, I made the choice to stay in Aspen. I figured I'd stay there, and one of my girlfriends was there. We stayed there for almost 3 months while Lindsay was on the road. And this is right after the Buckingham and Nicks record had been dropped. And it was horrifying to Lindsay and I because we had a taste of the big time. We recorded in a big studio, we met famous people, we made what we considered to be a brilliant record, and nobody liked it. I had been a waitress and a cleaning lady, and I didn't mind any of this. I was perfectly delighted to work and support us so that Lindsay could produce and work and fix our songs and make our music. But I had gotten to a point where it was just like, I'm not happy. I'm tired. But I don't know if we can do any better than this. If nobody likes this, then what are we gonna do? So during that 2 months, I made a decision to continue. Landslide was the decision. When you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills. It was the only time in my life that I've lived in the snow, but looking up at those rocky mountains and going, okay, we can do this. I'm sure we can do it. In one of my journal entries it says, I took Lindsay and said, we're going to the top. And that's what we did. Within a year, Mick Fleetwood called on us, and we were in Fleetwood Mac making $800 a week. Washing $100 bills through the laundry, it was hysterical. It was like we were rich overnight. Stevie Nicks, 2003. Landslide I wrote in Aspen 3 months before I joined Fleetwood Mac, along with Rhiannon. And that's where the snow-covered hills come from, and I was definitely doing a whole lot of reflecting. When I was up there, Lindsay was on the road with Everly Brothers, and I was very unhappy and very lonely and trying to figure out why he was out with the Everly Brothers, and I was in Aspen with $40 and my dog and my Toyota that went frozen the day we got there, and we thought he was going to make lots of money, and he didn't. Stevie Nicks, 1981. The story of Landslide. Everybody seems to think that I wrote this song about them. Everybody in my family, all my friends, everybody. And my dad did have something to do with it, but he absolutely thinks that the whole complete reason I ever wrote it was about him. I guess it was about September 1974. I was at home at my mom and dad's in Phoenix, and my father said, I think that maybe you really put a lot of time into this. Maybe you should give this 6 more months, and if you want to go back to school, we'll pay for it. Basically, you can do whatever you want, and we'll pay for it. I have wonderful parents, and I went, cool, I can do that. Then Lindsay and I went up to Aspen, and we went to somebody's incredible house, and they had a piano, and I had my guitar with me, and I went into the living room looking out at the incredible Aspen skyways, and I wrote Landslide. With all of that being said, between her individual takes on what the song's about, I think it's really easy to say what this song is about. It's about, in general, I think it's about growing up and kind of prioritizing and figuring yourself out as a person as well as letting go. I think her individual meaning for this is about her relationship with Lindsay Buckingham, and they had a bit of a turbulent relationship and trying to figure that whole thing out and just kind of weighing the pros and cons, like, should I stay, should I go, do I go back to school, what am I doing? And it's a lot about her career, because a lot of people were in her life saying, hey, maybe you should let this go, or you don't have any money. I mean, I think people also didn't have to say it necessarily because they didn't have money and they were struggling and it was just becoming really difficult. It's kind of funny because I think that Lindsay Buckingham kind of thought he had more talent than she did, and I think that her career has gone way further than his did, but it's kind of funny to look back at it like that. He was booking gigs, she wasn't, but when she made it, she really made it. It's just about moving on for me and growing up and accepting life as it is and kind of just, taking that all in. I listen to this every time I move because it is about new beginnings. It's not only about leaving the things in the past to me, but it's just kind of about looking forward. When I was a child, I remember being 5 years old and hearing this song and thinking it was about that this lady was dying. And I think that's funny that as a child I was so morbid, but that was exactly what I thought it was about. And as an adult, I can see that it has more meaning to it than that. It's not just about loss or leaving. It's about starting over, and it's about believing in what you're gonna do next. And I think that's really where she was too. She was believing that she was gonna make it. She was reflecting on her life, where it was going, and what she was gonna do with it. So everybody, always remember to follow your dreams and believe in yourself, and that you can make it. And you're gonna have obstacles, you're gonna have hills and mountains and landslides all around you, and you'll never know if you don't try whether the mountain's really gonna come crashing down or not. And in her case, she definitely made it over those hills and made it out to the valley. So I just love that so much. So like, comment, subscribe, hit me up, and comment below what you think the meaning of the song is. And don't forget, do you like the beach or do you like the mountains? Let us know below. And I thank you so much for watching. Bye, love ya. And also comment below what song you want me to do next. See you next time.